It was a dreary Saturday afternoon as Daniel Samuelson walked under a dreary sky to enter a dreary mall, to just be around dreary people while he tried to find something bright at one of the dreary stores filled with dreary goods, to lighten his dreary mood from having a dreary life. Daniel did not really believe his life was really that dull, lifeless, and depressing. It was just February, the worst month of the year for him. Daniel knew why February was the shortest month. It did not deserve to be any longer. To the man who got hit with seasonal depression, February was 28 days too long 75% of the time, the other 25% of the time it was 29 days too long. If he could, he would join the bears this month and just hibernate it away. If people saw February like the man who knew the truth about that month, they would join him in his disgust for everything that month represents to him. Daniel's favorite sport, football, was over in that month, and now the fanatic fan of a perennial loser has to wait almost 7 months for a meaningful game. The yearly novelty of having snow-covered fields has worn its welcome. Even if they had not been like the unwanted guest and overstayed their welcome, those fields were not pristine and pretty anymore. Instead of being a virgin white canvas showing glimpses of his youth, they were downtrodden gray, reminding him how cold and grim it was right then. There was also one reason why Daniel hated the month of purification, which he would not admit to himself. 3 years ago his wife left him in February. The pain of her leaving was made exponentially worse, for it was done on the anniversary of the day he first asked her out on a date and they became a couple. It was not their first date, for the event he asked Anita to be his date to was months away. It was not only a concert but U2, his favorite band at the time. As he walked in the colorless mall looking for any store to pique his interest, Daniel wondered why he did not pray to keep his youth when he was young. Daniel had a good childhood, but it was not the Disney version which he believed it was. His misremembering of the past made him wonder why he did not cherish it as he thought. Those two questions could be answered by one simple reason: the past was never as good as one remembers it. Hindsight was not always 20/20. People tend to think that, for they only remember what will reinforce their beliefs. Oh, how the man who has too many regrets would not waste being young again if that dream came true. Inside, Daniel sneered at the emo teenagers he saw just wasting time. Only if the man whose past was a fantasy world had glimpsed into his past with true sight, he would have seen himself sitting there wasting time in his flannel and mother love bone shirt. Then he saw her, a woman who changed his dreary day and outlook for a moment just by her enchanting looks. She was walking towards him. This tall lady's long fine blonde hair looked like a mane which belonged on a prized filly. Her hips were nice and curvy. For some strange reason he thought she could give birth to a horse. That must have just been a weird thought from being snapped from a dire mood to a great one. Even with her outfit of a green blazer, skirt and yellow silk show blouse being the colors of a team he was envious of for having success, this goddess among the common folk enthralled him. She has the look is all that Daniel could think of the woman he was fascinated over. As she was approaching him they made eye contact and she smiled. There was something spellbinding about those green eyes. They matched perfectly with the green of her outfit. If the man who could not believe this fine lady noticed him did not know better, he would have sworn the tailor of the clothes used those eyes to be inspired to dye the cloth. This trip out to the mall might have made this February worth being to the man who wanted spring around the corner. It was amazing what a little smile from a stranger can do to uplift the spirits of a person. When that smile comes from a stranger who is as bewitching as this lady, the power to uplift was tenfold. It could send a man's spirit to Valhalla. Then lo and behold, she was walking right towards Daniel after they made eye contact and smiled. This must be fake, it has to be, was the thought the man whose great day was just about to become better thought. It was not fake or an illusion. In a heavenly voice which had a slight Scandinavian accent she said, "Hi, I am Miss Lucy Olivia Keller Ingerson. I can tell by your look you are a little down. Well, I am in the business of fulfilling people's dreams. Can I please have a minute of your time on this dreary day in the dreary month of February?" Daniel's great day went back to being dreary as he thought, oh great, she is a sales lady. No wonder she smiled at me. He was not in the mood to be solicited into buying a good or service from someone at the mall who does not even have a kiosk. He was contemplating hearing Lucy's sales pitch for that she agreed with him about this dreadful month. He thought better, for she just read he was down and went with the most common cause. Daniel politely said, "Sorry, I am in a hurry. I am running late for my daughter's birthday and need to find her a gift." "You are lying to me." "That is fine, I understand. How about this if I pull out a gift from my purse which would be great to give to your daughter on her real birthday? You give me 10 minutes of your time. It will save you for shopping on her birthday, plus you get 10 minutes of looking at me. I know you like what you see." Daniel has to give Lucy credit. She will not let go if she thought she found a sucker. He was curious to see what she was going to pull out and how it was part of her sales pitch, so he agreed. Lucy went into her purse and pulled out an S-shaped snake charm done in ancient Nordic style. He was amazed, for his daughter's name was Samantha. She wanted one of those with her initial for her charm bracelet, and she loved the ancient Nordic art. All he could say was how. With a devilish grin, Lucy flicked her wrist and a business card appeared. As she offered him the card, she said, "Like I said, I am in the business of fulfilling dreams. Here is my card. Please be careful, it was just printed." She handed him the card and he looked at it. He could tell by the stock, the green color with gold ink and glitter on it, the card was expensive. It read, "Lucy Olivia Keller Ingerson, dreams are fulfilled by me, the desires by you dream fulfiller." He felt the glitter and ink from the front of the card go onto his thumb, and before he could mention it, Lucy handed him another card. "I told you to be careful, it was just printed." Daniel was just getting a bad vibe right now. It went from a dreary day to a freaky day, and he did not like it one bit. He did not mind the dullness of February compared to the uneasiness he felt right then. He knew whatever was happening was not normal or natural. "I've got to get going, sorry." "You are right, it is not my daughter's birthday. I just need to leave. Sorry to waste your time." Daniel went to hand the lady the gifts she gave him back. Lucy smiled. "Daniel, you did not waste my time. Keep the cards and the charm. If you want to know more about how to make your dreams come true, you have my contact. I promise you I will get back to you in 24 seconds or less." Daniel just smiled and left. In being out of sorts from how odd that interaction became, Daniel did not even notice she used his name. He also thought he misheard her when she said seconds. He was not going to interact with the crazy lady anymore. He would just throw away the cards and charm when he got home. A chill went up the fleeing man's spine when Lucy said, "Talk to you soon." It was 10 o'clock that night as the lonely man sat in front of his big screen television watching Marvel's The Avengers. He was thinking of the day, how strange it was. That lady, wow, she was out of the world. She would have been locked up a long time ago if she was not so stunning and then scary after you talked with her. There was some good out of it. Before he got home, his daughter called him to have dinner together. At first he dreaded it, for usually the out-of-the-blue dinner invite came with the out-of-the-blue "Daddy, I need this" request. Not this time, she just wanted to spend time with her old man. Another reason is that he would not know what would be worse, if Sammy brought up his ex-wife or not. He still loved her and did not understand why she left him. Yeah, they might not have spent as much time together as she liked, but she got anything which her heart desired. Diamond necklace, yeah, a cruise with the family, yeah. So what that he did not go, he was planning to, but at the last moment wanted to make sure his project to revamp the supply chain was still ahead of schedule. If the man with the upside-down priorities in life did not work as hard as he did, then his family would not have had a lot of those nice things they wanted. He laughed when he thought of that charm. He was so lucky his daughter called, for instead of being a fool and throwing it out, she got it. The man who was enjoying just spending time with his daughter was playing with the charm, and she noticed it. Lucy was right, she loved it and was so happy that her dad gave her something just because. The sleepy man chuckled to himself when he thought of what his daughter said when she saw it. "That is the charm of my dreams. It is perfect, thank you." Then while watching the movie, the bored man started to play with one of those business cards he got. He was mulling over in his mind what the heck was that strange lady's game, and said out loud, "Lucy Olivia Keller Ingerson, I would love to know what you were talking about." Less than a half a minute later his doorbell rang. He got up wondering who the hell would be calling on him at this time of night. He was 45 and a late night out for him ended at 11 o'clock. When he opened the door he jumped back, startled to see Lucy there. She stood there in a nice green pea coat and goldenrod dress slacks. 2 questions came to his mind. One, how the hell did she know where he lived and what is up with her and the colors green and yellow? Lucy asked, "Aren't you going to invite me in?" Daniel went to close the door, trying to make another barrier between him and whatever was at his door. He knew she was no lady, at least not a normal one. "Daniel dear, you want to know what I was talking about, so I came. I am not going to hurt you. Anyway, if I did want to hurt you, do you think a door would stop me? So either you invite me in or you used up one of my business cards. Which is it?" Daniel invited his unwanted guest in. He felt he had no choice in the decision. She unbuttoned her coat, raised her arms some and coughed as she looked at him. Daniel smiled, for she expected him to take her coat off for her. He did, and thought this lady was an extra large crazy pizza topped with extra crazy and crazy on the side with iced crazy to drink. The smile on his visitor's face quickly went to a frown when she saw what was on the television. "Daniel, please turn that junk off. I really hate Chris Hemsworth and Tom Hiddleston's acting in that movie. I just do not believe those two captured their characters right." When he thought that lady could not act any more crazy, she did. Lucy was concerned about the acting in an escapist romp. That movie was not high cinema and she wanted an Academy Award-winning performance from the actors. He was more than happy to oblige her. He knew he was not going to be paying attention to it anyway. "Lucy, what do you want?" Lucy smiled and said, "Daniel, this is not about what I want or what you want. It is about fulfilling one of your dreams. Any dream you have, even the ones which no one else but you know." This lady had to know more about him than anyone else. He really did not like that, for he felt like she had the upper hand. All he knew was her name, Lucy Olivia Keller Ingerson, and she made the new gold standard for crazy. It would not that be bad if she was only crazy, but she had powers. A little defensive, he replied, "I don't get what you are saying." "Oh Daniel, do not play clueless with me. I know what superheroine you would want to be in that badly acted movie." It should have been no surprise she knew of Daniel's desire to be Black Widow, or more accurately be Scarlett Johansson. Yet, he was still shocked hearing those words. The shock came from having to face his forbidden desire in front of someone else. How could he admit it? Even with the truth out there, he was still trying to find a way to deny it. Daniel stood there tongue-tied. Lucy said, "Sit down, dear. I will explain. Like I said, I am in the business of fulfilling dreams. If you look on my card, it also states you fill the desire. Like all mottos, it does not fill the nuance of the point it is getting across. I fulfill dreams. I did a small one today for your daughter. You know, the charm you gave her at dinner. I do not fulfill all dreams, like I will not make you a doppelganger of Scarlett Johansson. If I did that, you know how many people would be running around the world looking like her. The dreams I fulfill are ones you cannot achieve on your own. If you can fulfill them on your own, then they are desires. Those the person who makes their dreams come true have to do. I am not doing all the work for them. So think of it, what dream would you want fulfilled right now? It will happen. Trust me, just think of it. I do not have to hear it, I will know it, but you do not even have to admit it out loud. It will be our secret." This sounded too good to be true. Even with the magical part of it, it just sounded too good to be true for the man with the taboo fantasy. It felt wrong to get this desire without having to admit it out loud. Even with it feeling wrong and seeming too good to be true, Daniel was more than tempted by having that dream fulfilled. He just wanted to make sure it was the right dream to have come true. The man who had the ability to get his desires at his fingertips thought hard. He knew that even with never trying dressing or putting on panties, he wanted to be a woman. He lied to himself for the reason why. But now it would be different. Daniel would not look like a middle-aged man in a dress. He could get his youth back and be a woman. Oh yes, and he would still like women, so he would be a lipstick lesbian and his girlfriend would be one also. Oh, just thinking of it made him happy. What else could be better than being in a couple where both of the ladies are hot and all the guys would want what they could not have? Let all those men in their fancy cars, great jobs know that no matter how much they want to touch, they were never going to get it. Daniel told himself he never acted out on being a woman, for he admitted his desire too late in life to act upon it. The real reason was for Daniel was so unhappy with his life he thought he needed a totally new one. He thought that he failed at being a man, but that was not true. He failed at being a person. The sad thing is Daniel had first world problems. He had a nice car, a nice job and a nice life. He just wanted to blame other things for the rut he was in. The reason he was unhappy with life, he quit being Dan the man, the person who would put family and fun over a promotion, to become Daniel the man who was not happy with only being upper middle management. Daniel went from working to live to living to work. That is why his wife, Anita, left him. He offered to give her anything her heart dreamt of but did not fulfill it. All she wanted was him, and he was never there. Even when he was physically there, mentally he was at work. That was for even too much was not enough for him. Why have only 2 luxury cars when he could have 3? The third one for his kids to drive. There is nothing wrong with wanting more, it is wrong when you put material desires over personal relationships. Another thing, women think they have it worse, but to Daniel it was the other way around. Guys did. Yeah, he would get judged by his looks, so what, he will be cute as a woman. He will not be judged by the car he drove, the job he had and how tough he was. Plus, if he dated men, for who knows, he might be bi as a woman, he would not have to pursue them, they would pursue him. Then no more being the person who paid for the date. It would be great not to worry about having money in a relationship. Life would be so much better if he was a woman. He smiled and was getting ready to say his dream. Then he changed his mind. Why say it if he did not need to? Daniel thought his dream to be young and a woman. Music playing, even better than the real thing. U2, what the hell? Daniel thought as he heard U2 blaring as he stood in a huge group of kids who by the looks of their clothes never found out that grunge had died a long time ago. Daniel had not heard that song in years. He really did not like U2 anymore. Wait, better question, why the fuck was he not at his home? Also, his line of sight was wrong, too low for him to be standing yet too high for him to be sitting. There was something amiss right now. It was pretty amazing that somehow Daniel was shocked and did not know what happened. His dream came true. Then again, even with Lucy showing him that she was more than a woman, he still did not believe she was a fulfiller of dreams. Daniel finally realized that he had a cup in his hand. He looked down to see it was a red Solo cup. Seeing that brought a smile to his face. He has not drank from one of those in decades. Those were the cups of his youth. The cup of when his favorite beer was the most expensive one he could afford. The next thing Daniel noticed was his hands. They were not his, but the hands of a girl in her 20s. The dark purple nail polish might not have been his choice, but his nails were pretty. His smile got bigger when he figured out his dream did come true. He was a girl. Before she could run to the bathroom to see the cute outfit she was wearing, a familiar voice said, "Hey there, Danny girl, come back to reality." Danny looked and saw it was Anita Sumter. Danny girl must be her nickname, the new girl thought as her friend approached her. Her future ex-wife was wearing a black tunic with black and white leggings, the same outfit she had on the night those two became a couple. It was eerie for that night the conversation they had started when the same song was playing and Anita in that outfit said, "Hey there, Dan the man, come back to reality." Oh yeah, now Danny remembered why she did not like U2 anymore. Their songs reminded her of a happy time, which until a couple of minutes ago, was so long ago. The time which now were the best days of her life as a man. The time when she laughed the most, smiled the most and had the biggest spring in her step. A time she knew she could never match. Danny snapped out of being disoriented and came back to what was a dream reality, or the most realistic dream she ever had. The girl who knew she was going to win the heart of her future wife smiled. The smile came from the confidence Danny had about getting the love of her life back tonight. She knew what to say, for this night has already happened to her. "Sorry, I so love you too. I am going to dress like Bono's stage persona The Fly for Halloween and at the concert. Would you like to join me?" Anita laughed and loved it. Oh, how she loved being around Danny. Her friend has such a lust for life and was always in the moment. Oh, how she would love to join her friend for the concert. "Oh, I would love to go with you. I would love to do anything with you. How much are the tickets? In her mind, Danny was mouthing along with what Anita was saying. Now it is time for the girl, who knew the outcome was rigged for her to get what she wanted, to just be forward like she was before. Anita, this is a date. I want to take you on a date to the U2 concert. Danny thought jackpot as she saw lovely Nita blush. It is easy to smile when you put yourself out there with no chance of rejection. The girl who was going to make the desire of her heart a lovely bride started to mouth along when Anita said, "Oh, you would be the perfect man for me, other than one little issue. You are not a man. Sorry, I know I would so fall for you if you were Daniel instead of Danny. Hell with how you act, I bet people would call you Dan the man." That mouthing along only went for 2 words. Danny thought Anita should have said, "Oh, you are the perfect man for me. I have been falling for you since the day we met. With how you act, it is fitting that people call you Dan the man." Music playing, these are the days minus 10,000 maniacs. This would have been a setback for Daniel the businessman, but not Danny. She was not going to take no for an answer. Knowing what the future has in store for those two, she would be a fool to let her sex be in the way of what can be a perfect relationship. Anyway, Danny was not really a woman. She was just a man in a woman's body. Danny also got inspiration from the song playing right then. She and Anita are going to have so many days to remember. Yes, their marriage ended the first time around, but that Danny would not make those mistakes again. The woman with a second chance will figure out what went wrong before it does. Another part of the inspiration came from Anita was with a lady for a year after she left Daniel. The woman, with the unfair advantage of knowing a future timeline, knew that Anita only had to try it to like it. Danny was wrong in that assumption. The only reason her ex tried being with a woman was she was so sick of men. She gave the other option a chance. She wanted the personal connection which she thought from dealing with Daniel only a woman could provide her. She found from her experiment that she could never get the romantic and exotic connection to a woman. Anita would never try that again, for if 2 out of the 3 connections she needed did not work, then only one would be worse. Danny grabbed the hands of the woman of her dreams and said, "Listen to the song, we could live this song together. We could make the rest of our lives, the days to remember. Don't let a little thing like my sex get in the way of something which can be amazing. Think of how well we get along, how much we laugh, and how we are there for each other and care for each other. You know that I can put that special smile on your face that no one else can." Anita cared for and loved her best friend Danny, so she heard her out. She even looked at the situation from her quarter's point of view. She understood where Danny was coming from but just could not agree with her. There was that little spark missing. If there was just a little romantic and erotic desire in Anita's heart, she would have said yes. "Danny, you know that I love you and our connection is the strongest a bond 2 girls can have. I just do not have any desire to be with you how you want to be with me. Your feelings for me will not change our friendship. It will always be a friendship and nothing more. Anita, still let me buy the tickets, for it is my intent to win you over. I will not force it and never bring it up again. I will just show you that the little issue you think should keep us apart should not. I know you will not force it, and I love that about you, Danny girl. You are so great, and that is why it is hard to say no. I am letting something which should be superficial be so important. But it is important. I need a man to feel the feeling you deserve from the lady which wins your heart." Danny was true to her word and dropped the subject. That lady was handling rejection well. Then again, it is easy to handle rejection when one knows it is really a delay in disguise. The patient lady had the knowledge of the future on her side. That knowledge came with knowing many times that her and I saying it is who Daniel was inside, which made her fall in love with him, and Danny was the same person. Music playing, everybody hurts REM. Danny still did not make to the bathroom to see how she looked. It really did not matter to her right then. She was talking to the lady who she has loved for almost 3 decades now. Life was back to how it should be, for the woman now has the second chance at first love. Then Danny was hit with the new cold truth right then, when she was talking about how she wanted 3 kids and the oldest would be a boy named Stan. The new reality registered with Danny, for that could not be. That would not be. By being selfish and not thinking, Danny just wiped the 3 people who she loved more than anything in the world out of existence. The red solo glass of the woman who had just lost 3 kids dropped to the ground. Her coloring went away and she started to feel dizzy. Anita reached out to help her friend regain her balance and asked if she was all right. Danny's voice cracked when she said, "Yes, I am going to use the bathroom." "Let me walk you there, Danny girl." "No, I need to be alone right now." Stan, Susie and Samantha would never be. "Fine, but right after you regain your composure, come back to me. I want to make sure you are all right, dear." Danny hugged her ex who would never be her ex and did not like it. Her breast got smushed and formed a barrier so that she could not get as close as she wanted. Danny wanted to feel as close as she could to the woman she loved. Then when she walked, it was strange at how small her feet were and also how not all of her feet were parallel to the ground. "Damn those heels," the frustrated woman said. It just did not feel right to not have more of a steady base on the ground. The new woman felt a new center of gravity with the walk and did not like it. Then also her breasts were wiggling some, for her bra was more about show than support. Her clothes did not feel right, the leggings she had on clung to her legs and groin. It is a little constant reminder that she had them on. Then the skirt really did not serve a purpose other than for looks. She found that a waste of her time having it on. Her t-shirt showed too much of her breasts. Finally, the looks she got from people. To most of the men there she felt more like they were looking at an object and not a person. To the women she felt like they were looking at her like the competition. Danny knew she was not going to like the new way people will perceive her. Music playing, Ordinary World, Duran Duran. She made it to the bathroom and looked in the mirror. That face which was looking back at her was not who she was. She knew it would never be who she was. Danny's fate was to be someone who she was not. The lady, who had the life sentence of her new reality without the possibility of parole, started to look in her purse for her cigarettes. While searching for the cancer sticks, the stressed-out lady realized that here is something else she was going to hate about her new world, having a purse. Then she saw something glitter in it. That little glimmer of light coming from the darkness in her purse made the lady who needed a miracle smile. It was a ticket to get a miracle, while a dream come true. Plus, Danny was not happy with Lucy and wanted to know why she tricked her. This was not what she dreamt of. As she grabbed the card, she knew the wait would not be long. She looked at the door for a knock and nothing. Then the disappointed lady jumped, for she was startled by hearing Lucy's voice coming from behind her. Danny shook her head when she saw the outfit that Lucy Olivia Keller-Ingerson wore. It was a green and yellow t-shirt of a basketball team which would cease to exist in 15 years, and green leggings. For a moment, Danny forgot that she wanted to go back to being a man. It was for she needed to know why Lucy always wore green and yellow. Why? Lucy smiled and said, "Why what?" Danny was not in the mood for games. "Quit playing dumb. You know exactly what my question was about." "Sorry, Danny, but a girl does need to have a little fun. Quit being so testy. Your dream was fulfilled. I know it is not all you thought it would be, and also really did not want it. That is not my issue. I am the fulfiller of dreams. I do not pick them and do not care if they are what people want or not. So get used to being Danny, get used to missing your 3 kids, get used to never having the past you had. Get used to being a man trapped in a woman's body. That is just cruel. You did this to me and now you rub it in my face. Your mindset is exactly what is wrong with humans, Danny. You do not take responsibility for your actions, think that intent is what matters most instead of the outcome, and do not even try to look at how your actions will affect others. I did not do this to you, you did it to yourself. Yes, I gave you the power to do so, but you did so. Once you changed your priorities in life, you started to shift blame to everything else other than yourself. Your wife did not leave you to be with a woman. You pushed her away from not giving her what she wanted. You don't even say you did all that for her. You did it for yourself. You loved people looking up to you. It fed your ego. You went looking for happiness and did not find it for one reason. You did not look at where it was the entire time, inside you. Happiness comes from within. It is not something given to you by others, but something you make on your own. Now if I were you, I would learn the lessons from getting this dream and hope to make yourself a better person. Lucy went to leave and Danny said, "Not so fast, I have another card so you will fulfill another dream of mine. I am just going to dream I never met you and this will be over." That is just wrong on so many levels. First, that was not a dream but a wish, and I am not a genie. I am not in the wish-granting business, that would not work. Another thing is you have no power over me. I do not have to fulfill your dreams if I do not want to. There are so many more people out there whose dreams are worth fulfilling over your selfish ones. So get used to your new life. Danny sneezed and Miss Lucy Olivia Keller Ingerson was nowhere to be seen. Music playing. Damn, I wish I was your lover. Sophie B. Hawkins, the stubborn lady who did not listen to the lecture, walked out of the bathroom still blaming the trickster for what she did to herself. She looked for her friend and saw her sticking out from the crowd. She knew that Anita would always stick out from the crowd for how wonderful she found her best friend. Danny went up to her friend. "Anita, I think that I am getting the flu or something. I am going to get going." "Danny, are you sure you are fine? I can take you home. We can talk. You seemed very upset when you said those names. Don't be unhappy about something which has not happened yet. You know happiness comes from within." Danny smiled, for it came to her. Anita was right, happiness came from within. Danny did not get the same message when it came from Lucy for one reason. Danny was closed to hearing Lucy's point of view. A person needed to have an open mind to truly hear what the other person said in any conversation. "I will be fine, give me a call tomorrow and we will pick up the tickets." "Sorry, but if you don't mind, can you buy yours? I want to make sure that we stay friends and do not want you to think I will ever try to get you to give me a chance." Anita somehow knew what just happened. Danny realized that she would never have what her heart desired and needed to move on. "Of course I will pay for my own. I am going to the concert to be with my best friend and you will always be my best friend." Danny got home and put on her nightgown. She did not like how it felt and wondered if she would ever get used to her new body and her new clothes. As she fell asleep, she started to dream about getting her old life back. How she would make changes to it. How she would get it straight by taking ownership over the shambles it was in and then correcting the issues which were making it a hot mess. Daniel woke up. Wait. He woke up. Daniel jumped out of his bed with a spring in his step. He was not Danny anymore. The born-again man was happy that he would not be stuck as a woman. He knew why he had those dreams. It was for he was unhappy about his life and thought that changing his sex would give him the life he wanted. He turned on the television to watch the Sunday morning talk shows and they were not on. He checked his phone for the date. Today was Saturday, yesterday did not happen. He looked up to the heavens and thanked Lucy for giving him his old life back. The grateful man promised the lesson was learned. Thinking back, the grateful man also looked down to the underworld to give her thanks. He still had no idea what or who she was, but there was a much better chance she was a demon than an angel. Now there was a new plan for his Saturday. The man who was having his own version of Groundhog Day was going to take advantage of having a do-over somehow. He just knew it was fate for him to do so. Why else would he have gotten the gift of having an extra Saturday? Dan called all his kids to tell them how much he loved them. It was working out so great for him. Stan told his dad. Mom asked how he was doing. She was concerned about him. Susie mentioned that her mom was going out to karaoke. Then Samantha asked to do supper and Dan agreed. He wanted to just be around his youngest daughter. The loving father told his sweet Sammy that he had something special to give her. After getting off the phone with Samantha, Daniel thought he needed to find Lucy again to ask her for that charm pendant. So once again it was a dreary Saturday afternoon as Daniel Samuelson walked under a dreary sky to enter a dreary mall, to just be around dreary people while he tried to find something bright. This time it will not be at a dreary store and he was not in a dreary mood. Daniel felt alive, so alive. He has not felt this alive in years. He retraced his steps from his first time living this Saturday and saw the same people from yesterday in the same places and smiled when he saw the emo kids spending time bored together. It brought back memories of Dan the man doing the same. It might have been boring, but it was time with his friends, good times just joking around. Then he saw her, that goddess in her outfit of a green blazer, skirt and yellow silk shell blouse. This time he thought of how great that outfit suited her. They were the perfect colors for her. Something was wrong. She did not smile when they made eye contact. He did not care he was going to speak with her. "Lucy, I am so happy that I saw you. I learned those lessons and thank you for teaching them to me. I am just asking for one more favor from you. Please give me that charm you gave me yesterday, which was today." The lady looked at him like he was crazy. Then in a slight Scandinavian accent she said, "Sorry, I have no idea who you are and what you are talking about. My name is not Lucy. It is Ms. Lily Orchid Kennedy Isaacson. Please leave me alone." Daniel laughed. "Funny, Lucy, please, this is not for me. It is for my daughter. Also, please answer this question: why do you always wear green and yellow?" Lucy said, "How do you know that I always wear green and yellow? Have you been stalking me? Go away before I blow my rape whistle." "I will." Daniel felt bad. For some reason Lucy was legitimately scared of him. "I am so sorry, I thought you were someone else." "Okay, I understand," Lucy said and then winked when she added, "And one thing, this green was not picked out by a tailor, it was by a designer. Only a male would think that this perfect outfit was done by anyone else but a designer." Daniel laughed at the last remark. That trickster read his mind and corrected his thought about her clothes must be tailor-made. Also, he was not mad about the charm. He would get one made. He would just tell his daughter that his plan to win back his wife dinner tonight. Yeah, tonight. He had some things to do so he could win his ex-wife back. He knew he will get her back. Daniel knew he would get Anita back for, he remembered Daniel might be his given name, but that was not him. His real name was Dan the Man, and he was going to start being him again. Daniel went shopping and got black boots, black leather pants, black shirt and a black leather jacket to go with oversized shades he bought. Then to a hair salon, for he would not pull off Bono's fly look with his salt and pepper hair. He was going to get his hair dyed jet black. He also had the hairstylist give him a shave. The goatee would not work also. Dan the Man went home and put on his new outfit. It was amazing how having the right view of life changed how he felt about what he was wearing. As Daniel, he would have felt like a fool in those clothes. As Dan the Man, he felt as awesome as a midget ninja winning a fight over a drunken dwarven pirate. Dan went to dinner, and when his sweet Sammy saw his outfit, she laughed. The laughter was for she was happy. Her dad was not all business like he has been for the past 5 years. "Dad, you devil you. I see what you meant by you saying you had something special to give me. This smile was the best thing you have given me in a long time, for you are not so uptight right now. Yes, it was even better than the snake charm you gave me. I love it and wear it all the time." Samantha showed her dad the charm. Dan did not care that he did not know when he gave it to her. He was just happy that she got it. They enjoyed supper. It was like old times, just laughing and enjoying each other's company. Sweet Sammy admitted to her dad that she has not been spending time with him, for it felt more like a business meeting. That she wanted the old dad to stay. Dan told her of course old dad would stay. The man on a mission was about to try to reach his objective, winning his wife back. He went to the local watering hole and stayed out of her sight. He wanted to shock her when he started to sing to her. Yes, Dan the Man was going to serenade his way back into Anita's heart. The new convert to romanticism asked the lady next to him to give the host of the karaoke night his request. She was more than happy to do so. She did make him promise that if it worked she got invited to the wedding. Then Harvey announced the next singer and song. "Ladies and gentlemen, please give a nice welcome to Dan the Man as he sings You Two's even better than the real thing to who he sees as the real thing, Anita." Dan made eye contact and was so happy that he had his shades on, for sitting next to the woman of his dream was Lucy, or whoever she was. He did not have to look at her face, for the pale yellow sheath dress with a green flower design gave her away. He did not care that she was there and did not know if she was going to help or hinder him. It did not matter, he was going to start to achieve his goal. Anita turned red and was patted on her shoulder by Lucy. They both laughed and watched Dan the Man sing. As the bard sang "Give Me One More Chance," Let me be your lover tonight. Lucy whispered something into her new friend's ear. Anita got up and walked towards the man who still owned her heart. She looked at him lovingly as he sang. The song was over and she hugged him and gave him a kiss. My love, I know I have a long way to go to show you that I am that man again who you married and not who I became. All I am asking is that you give me a chance every day until I let you down again. Then give me a second chance when you point out I have my priorities wrong. I love you and want to spend the rest of my life with you. Dan, my man, that was Anita's pet name for him. I will give you another chance. You know, I would not at first. I thought this was just a stunt which you would not back up. Then my new friend Lydia Orlando Kingingenberg told me how sincere she knew you were. Come on, you have to meet her and thank her for getting this chance. They started to walk back to where Anita was sitting and Lydia was nowhere to be seen.